Here is a simple example of a must-be question along with 3 answer choices. And this is an example of a simple can-be question along with the answer choices. Before we go about solving these questions, let's understand the correct approach for these questions. The correct approach is that for must-be questions, try to get a no for each answer choice. When you get a no, it is sufficient to eliminate an answer choice. And if you fail to get a no, when you cannot get a no, is when you must select the answer choice. Whereas for can-be questions, try to get a yes. When you get a yes, you can select an answer choice. And when you cannot get a yes even once, it means that you must eliminate the answer choice. So, in case of the must-be questions, we must try to hurt the answer choice by getting no. And in case of the can-be questions, we must try to help the answer choice by trying to get a yes. When we get a yes, we can select the answer choice. When we fail to get a yes, it means that we must eliminate the answer choice. Whereas in the must-be question, the idea is to get a no and therefore eliminate the answer choice. Remember, we are trying to hurt the answer choice. We are trying to eliminate it by getting no. When we fail to get a no, it means that the answer choice cannot be eliminated and therefore we are forced to select the answer choice. Let us now apply this approach practically on a couple of questions. Here is the approach. Here is a must-be question and here is a can-be question. Let us now solve these questions using the approach we just learned. The first is a must-be question and therefore this approach must be applied. We will try to get a no for each of the answer choices. It's given that x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Therefore, x square minus 2x minus 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. We can factorize it. It becomes x minus 2 times x minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, the possible values of x are x equals 2 or x equals 3. So there are two possible values of x, 2 and 3. It is a must-be question. We are trying to hurt the answer choice by trying to get a no every time. So for x must be odd, we can select x equals 2, which is an even value, to get no as the answer. And remember, a no is sufficient to eliminate an answer choice. So with x equals 2, we got a no for x being odd, and we can therefore eliminate answer choice A. Similarly, for x must be even, we can select the odd value of x, which is x equals 3, and we get a value of x that is not even. We got a no, and therefore the second answer choice can also be eliminated. However, in the case of the third answer choice here, whether we select x equals 2 or we select x equals 3, we only get yes as the answer. See, we could not get a no, and therefore the third answer choice here must be selected. And the answer to this question is C only. Let us now look at the second question. This is a can-be question. Therefore, this second approach must be applied, and we must try to help each answer choice by trying to get a yes every time. So when the question is whether x can be odd, we will try to get a yes by selecting a value of x which is odd. So yes, there were two possible values of x, 2 and 3. X can be 3, so yes, x can be odd. So first answer choice should be selected. We succeeded in getting a yes, and therefore we were able to select the first answer choice. For the second answer choice, whether x can be even, we can select this first case here, that x equals 2, and we can conclude that yes, x can be even. So even the second answer choice could be selected because we were able to get a yes. And in the last case, whether x can be prime, whether we select x equals 2 or we select x equals 3, we get yes as an answer. So even the third answer choice should be selected. So the correct answer here would be A, B, as well as C. I hope you got both these questions correct, and more importantly, I hope that you got this approach. Duly understand it. This will come in handy in many questions during your GRE's quant preparation.